All right, this is Kean, Piano 3. This is the week of February 2nd. And I already played the prelude in the last video all the way through. Use that as your master video for learning that piece, because there's a test coming up on it on February 16th. So you definitely want to practice with or without pedal, but no stopping. Okay, so today I want to focus on the E flat major scale. It's on page 5. E flat scale, 3 flats. B, E, and A. This E flat you start on. When you get to A, it's flat. When you get to B, it's flat. And as always, you try to put your 4th finger on B flat. The thumb goes on C. And then that gets you back to 3. 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. And then it just keeps going. Same thing. 3, 2, 1, 4, 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1, 4, 3, 2, 1. Think in clusters if you must. 3, 2, 1, 4, 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1, 4, 3, 2, 1. Left hand is going up the opposite. 3, 2, 1 of the right hand. 4, 3, 2, 1. You remember going down was 3, 2, 1, 4, 3, 2, 1. Going up with the left hand is 3, 2, 1, 4, 3, 2, 1. They're mirror images. Most of the time, the mirror image concept works. So you play them together. Nothing really meets except E flat on 3. When I play 3 here, I'm playing 4 here. When I play 4 here, I'm playing 3 there. So nothing meets. You don't have a check, but you do have a check on E flat. You have to land on. One of the big mistakes that I've seen in the private lessons are people doing this: 1, 3, and leaving the 2nd finger in the middle, or 2, 4. That'll never happen. There's no such thing. So use the finger that comes next consecutively. So you practice that. Look at the arpeggio on measure 165. Now measure 165, this arpeggio is just like D flat. When you play D flat, you play 4, 1, 2, 4. This is 4, 1, 2, 4. A flat will be 4, 1, 2, 4. B flat, 4, 1, 2, 4. So those are kind of the default black key scale fingerings. 4, 1, 2, 4. The left hand is 2, 1, 4, 2, just like D flat. That's what that is. So you shouldn't have any trouble with that. Let's go through all the E flat chords now, right in the middle of the 2nd line. E flat major. E flat minor, you flat the 3rd. As always, just follow the formula. You flat the 5th, B flat becomes B double flat, or A. B flat raised is E flat augmented. So it's the usual major, minor, diminished, augmented. Then E flat 6. You play an E flat chord and you add the 6th note of the scale. Simple as that. Minor 6, flat the 3rd, as always. E flat major 7. That's our favorite chord. Flat the 7, you have E flat 7. Lower the 3rd, you have E flat minor 7. Flat the 5th, you have E flat minor 7, flat 5. And finally, you flat the top and you have yourself a fully diminished 7. Okay? That does E flat. Now, E flat minor, the right hand is exactly like the E flat major, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's do that first. E flat is the relative minor of G flat. I hope you've had it in music theory. If you haven't, you just have to follow this as you can. There are 6 flats. All of these are flats, of course. Plus, you have a C flat, which is B natural. So the same fingers as E flat major, but it's minor. E flat, everything's flat, except F. But we're raising the 7 to make harmonic minor. So the D flat becomes a D natural. 1, 2, 3, 4, just like the major. major, 1, 2, 3. As opposed to, there's the raised 7 to make harmonic minor. Left hand, nobody loves, not even concert players, do we enjoy the E flat minor scale if there's a lot of octaves, because it's an awkward fingering, and I've been playing it my whole life, and I never look forward to it. But when it happens, I do it. I can do it, but it's not as easy. 2, 1, 4, 3, 2, 1. Then you got to reach over for that D, and that's the hard part. And then you go D. It's that little twist in there that's. So you never want to play out on the keys, because then you got to get in, then come out, and come in, and come out. Just stay in. So it's 2, 1, 4, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2. And you'll practice that. That's the E flat minor scale. The E flat minor arpeggio is very easy in concept, but it's difficult, and you'll see why. It's the same fingerings as C major. When you played C, you played 5, 4, 2, 1 for an arpeggio. E flat minor is also 5, 4, 2, 1. But because you're on skinny little keys, these little skinny black keys, you have to get your balance. It's not so easy. Fast. It's easy. Slow. You do this, you're fine. You play slowly, you're fine. But the right hand, 1, 2, 3, it's just like C major. 1, 2, 3. It's also 1, 2, 3. And the hardest part is this. It's a mile away, that E flat. It's a mile away. You know, that can happen. So you have to get there. You have to practice it. And you have to connect it. You can't go. And slap the keys as always. That'll get you through the whole E flat, major, and minor basics. Now, skip 2 pages over. It may not be in your, you don't have your pages in order, but this is right after the scales. So you'll find it. It's called cadences. Look for cadences. Cadences. C-A-D-E-N-C-S. C-E-S. Now we're going to start cadences today. C and G major and minor cadences. So listen really carefully to this, because if you don't listen, you're going to have the wrong information. We're only playing the first 2 measures of each key. For example, look at the top of the page, you'll see this. Then you'll see this. That's it. Do not play all the other measures in C. Then you're going to jump to measure 7, key of G. Just 2 measures. Bass line. Now let me explain it to you. Let's go back to C. These are all 1, 4, 5, 7 chords, starting on C major in a root position. So C major is here. The next chord is an F chord, keeping the C as a common tone, C, F, A. Going back to C, and then you keep the G, and you move the C down to B, and you get B, D, F, G, B, D, F, G, and back to C. When you practice them, hold them out for at least 4 beats. Just do this. 1, put the pedal down, so while the pedal is resonating the notes, you find your next chord. Find your next chord. Find your next chord. And your next chord. So it's a 1 chord. It's a 4 chord. Technically, it's in second inversion. It's a 4-6-4. It's back to 1. This is a 5-7, but since the B is on the bottom, call it a 5-6-5, right? In theory class. In actual music, it'll read this way: 1, F over C, F/C. Back to C. This will say G7/B, meaning G7 chord, but over B. second measure is a bass line. Get this in your fingers. 1, 4, 5, 5, 1. 1, 4, 5, 5, 1. So now it's a 1 chord. Now that 4 chord that had a C on the bottom has an F on the bottom. Now it's a true F chord. The next one is a 1-6-4 chord or a C chord over G. 5-7, 1. If the theory part doesn't resonate, just play it. Just play it. Learn the notes. It'll eventually kick in. Look at measure 7 now. You have a G chord. In the key of G, C major is 4. Back to G. The 5-7 is D7. Of course, it's a 5-6-5 or D7 over F sharp. Back to G. Look at the next measure, bass line. So it's a 1 chord, a 4 chord, a 1-6-4, a 5-7, 1. Sounds like this. Have that. Cadences are going to be very big. Piano 3 and 4. You'll do every cadence. You'll do everything in piano 4, all the other ones. Right now, you just do 2 measures of each key. Okay? Now, in the fractal, page 2, number 4. Page 2, number 4. It's a little Mozart ditty. You may have heard it, but the bottom line is that this is another one we're going to practice transposing on. So right now, on February 9th, we're going to play page 2, number 4, and then after you spend a few days with it, you'll transpose it to D, G, and C. G, D. D and G, excuse me. No, D, G, C, as I said, D, G, and C. So, if you play the first notes, you'll start to learn things about what you're playing. For example, the notes sound left hand, but all together, it's one big fat F major chord. See, I didn't budge. You don't hold the notes when you play it. So if you took that and put it in C, and D, and F, it doesn't matter. So the right hand is 6/8 time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, all in one place. So you use the arpeggio fingering. Continuing, look at the next measure. There's a B flat with 4, and there's an E with a stem down. Those are 2 voices now. The upper voice we'll call a soprano, and the bottom we'll call an alto. So you hold the alto voice, that's held, and they meet here. So, same thing here. E and G, 2 and 4. The E is held through the measure. Right? The E is held. So the right hand melody is, feel it in the 2, it's better. It's very simple. Left hand, broken chords. That's it. The next to the last measure changes a little bit. It's C, B flat, C. So here's the way this sounds slowly. The last 2 measures, you gotta reach for that 2 on B flat. And that's it. Then you'll put it in these other keys, key of F. But spend 2 or 3 days only playing it in the key of F. And then, when you feel, you have to memorize things to transpose them, in all honesty. notes are on the staff, and then you have to transpose them with your eyes as well as your feel and your ears. Ultimately, it's your ears, your eyes, and your hands. And I've played a million shows in my life, and I don't think I've ever played a show where someone doesn't come up and say, my voice isn't good today, I'm hoarse, I need everything put down a third today. You gotta transpose everything right on a spot. Whether you're a sax player, clarinet player, pianist, you have to learn how to transpose. So you do it by feel, you do it with your head, F major, D major, C major. You do it with your ear, you can hear if it's right, and you do it looking at it too, you can see the contour, the shape of the melody. I believe that's it. G major. Oh, by the way, those cadences, I did forget to tell you. After you've played minor, so you make the 1-4 chords minor. The 5 is always major, right? The 5 in minor keys is harmonic minor major. So I forgot to tell you that. I'm glad I looked, and I believe that is it. Okay, have a good week.